Imagine being so deep in debt that robbing a bank seems like the only way out. This is the story of Joshua Allen Levine, a philosophy major and honor student at the University of Texas. In the summer of 1993, while his fraternity brothers were interning at prestigious firms or traveling abroad, Josh was drowning in gambling debts. Josh had lost $11,000 to a bookie during the NFL playoffs, and the bookie had threatened to castrate him if he didn't pay up. Desperate, Josh began casing the First State Bank, visiting up to 3 times a day, pretending to make phone calls while observing the bank's operations. On August 17, 1993, Josh decided it was time. He donned a Chicago Bulls cap, rose-tinted goggles, and a camouflage hunting mask, and armed himself with a 9mm semi-automatic Astra. As he stormed the bank, he screamed, "This is a f***ing robbery," pointing the gun at 2 terrified tellers. The tellers stuffed $12,097 into his black bag, but in his haste, Josh forgot to zip it up, leaving a trail of money behind him. Josh ran to his car, but the police quickly tracked him down using tracer money that emitted radio waves. Caught red-handed, Josh was arrested with the gun, mask, gloves, and his journal detailing the robbery plan. In court, Josh's defense attorney argued that he was suffering from bipolar disorder, diagnosed after the robbery. Josh's journal entries revealed his deep depression and desperation, questioning his purpose and worth. Despite his mental health defense, the jury saw Josh as a spoiled frat boy, not a disturbed young talent. Josh had always struggled to afford the Zeta Beta Tau fraternity lifestyle, working multiple jobs to pay his tuition and fraternity dues. He was an aspiring writer, a member of UT's elite Silver Spurs, and had a serious girlfriend, but his gambling addiction overshadowed his achievements. Gambling was rampant in the UT fraternity system, with poker games and sports betting being common pastimes. Josh's gambling started small but quickly escalated, leading to significant debts and borrowing money from his fraternity brothers. In the summer of 1992, Josh had a hot streak, winning $25,000 betting on baseball, but his luck didn't last. By the fall of 1992, Josh's gambling was out of control, and he owed his bookie $2,000. A trip to Las Vegas for a computer convention was the kiss of death for Josh, who spent all his time at the tables instead of working. Josh's gambling addiction led to poor judgment as ZBT president, reinstating Blackjack Night to raise money for the fraternity. The extent of gambling in the UT frat system reached epidemic proportions, with a $600,000 bookmaking ring being busted by the police. Josh's debts and depression worsened, leading him to consider robbing a bank as a way out. He meticulously planned the robbery, even approaching his fraternity brothers for help, but none took him seriously. On the day of the robbery, Josh felt euphoric, reminiscent of his previous gambling wins, but his plan quickly fell apart. After his arrest, Josh refused a plea bargain, gambling on a not guilty due to insanity defense. In court, his lawyer argued that Josh had turned himself into the protagonist of his future novel, but the jury was unsympathetic. Josh's sentencing was a somber affair, with only one ZBT brother showing up to support him. Judge Sam Sparks sentenced Josh to 106 months in prison, followed by 5 years of probation, despite his lack of a criminal record. Josh's final gamble didn't pay off, but he remained hopeful about his future as a writer, even in prison. He joked about meeting a literary agent in his 9th year in prison, still high on the career track he had chosen. Josh's story is a cautionary tale of how gambling addiction can lead to desperate and destructive decisions. Stay tuned for more gripping stories from the archives. Remember, sometimes the biggest risks lead to the greatest falls. TM Classics, where history comes alive.